Why do they love excrement so much? This is... ew. All engines go. There hasn't been a hotter topic since the Goth kids burned it down. And we've talked about how I feel about it a couple times, so we won't go over that again. It's not my preferred Thomas, but Season 5 was a long time ago, so that's kind of a redundant statement. And as we've seen over the past little bit, I've started to obtain a small diecast collection of these things, since they're accurate, they're cute, I guess. They're accurate. Honestly, my fiance really likes them. I think they're fun to just put around the house, and we have some new ones today to add to this collection. One that will add to this little muddy collection. Again, I don't know what these are from. I don't know what they're going for here, but it's Thomas. That's he looks like he's covered in shit. And Percy, except he has a poop mustache. So this one's poor guy. I know it's probably mud, but I don't really know what they're referring to anyway. So the mind can do whatever it wants. But to go with that small muddy collection, I recently found the Dino Fix 'em Up Friend set, which has a Muddy Carly, a Muddy Sandy, and a little T-Rex on a red flat car. These have to be referencing an episode, but I don't know what episode. I'm so confused here. I'm sure the comments will let me know what episode this is referring to, but again, I don't really pay as close attention to All Engines Go. It's just kind of something that's cute and kind of fun. But we don't have just this nonsensical, slightly gross pack. We also have James, which is my favorite Thomas and Friends character. Now we have him bastardized. Now, when it comes to James, I actually happen to have two of them. One that was gifted to me from my fiance, and another that was gifted to me from Tank Engine John. So it's finally good to rip into one and see what they look like. I plan to leave the other one in its packaging. Maybe I'll make a custom with it one day, but today we are tearing into these two. So let's stop talking about it and jump into it. I think I'm going to start with James, but before I jump into either of them, let's talk about this packaging. Mid as fuck. This is... why? If I recall correctly, these things didn't have the best packaging, but they at least had a muddy detailing that went with the engine. This is straight up just... this is just the same as James. I mean, Carly's kind of muddy up there, but it's... why not just make it a more decorative box? That would be so much more catching. The back is where the boring stuff is, like all the disclaimers, but we also get another render of Carly and Sandy in their muddy forms. And on the front here, we have a little diagram that shows Carly's crane movement, which, again, I've never had a Carly, so this will be my first time seeing her, and it will be my second Sandy, but a new one to go with the excrement collection, so cool. And for some reason, a dinosaur. Someone please tell me what the dinosaur is. I need to know. James's packaging is pretty boring as well, but seeing as this is just a normal engine, it's a little bit more excusable. It's just got James there on the top. It's got the Thomas and Friends logo, his name, and the back is just more disclaimers and hazard things, stuff like that. Again, while it's excusable for this one, since this is not a special James, this is the stock standard one, it would be cool if they did something a little bit more with these boxes. I believe they had the medieval Thomas one too, and it was the same case as this. Just why not take the little bit of extra time and make the box more fun, or at least maybe explain the engine? Because what's going on here? I still am confused. All right, that aside, let's just jump into opening these two. I'm gonna start with James. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see this guy. Okay, so this is the Diecast James, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if the camera is focusing too well, but it's okay. I'll put up some better pictures and videos and stuff. What a weirdo. I'm really not trying to just rag on All Engines Go, but I'm a classic series fan. It's a little fucked. I also have to say I've always been confused on what they're trying to do with James's face. He looks like an elderly Asian man. He doesn't look like James. Like, you can see that, right? Like, how did this just doesn't translate to James to me? But he's red. They at least got that part right. He doesn't have anything in his cab. He's very, just like the others, dumbed down. But what is pretty cool is he has a accurate size proportion to Thomas, or I guess more of one if you really wanted to get the bigger engines to be much bigger, you could get the Trackmaster variants, but I think the Trackmaster variants are disgusting. So no, please don't even ask. But here he is next to Thomas. He's quite a bit longer. Again, he does have the extra wheel, so quite expected. But that is something I just noticed. This little entire chassis setup is accurate. He's got the front pony truck. He's got 6 wheels in the back. The only thing that's missing is side rods, and these things don't have side rods in the new show. So again, accurate, I guess. The wheels are not molded in black. They're a very off silver. They almost look metally, but they are not. Let me assure you, these are not metal. The only metal you're gonna find on this thing is this. And I mean, for what it is, it's cool. I'm pretty sure this thing was like $5, so you're getting what you're paying for. This is just a little James model that honestly is pretty accurate to All Engines Go. Here's a look at his tinder, which is just absolutely puny. What is kind of cool is they have this little indent area here. If you wanted to fill that with more coal or put the top end of a crew in there, you could. And here it is just beside James. Like, hopefully this can put in perspective how tiny this thing is. It's just weird. It's very strange to see James with this kind of proportion. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. He definitely could be worse. Again, for being from All Engines Go, he is Ted accurate to the show. He even has a little slanted funnel, just like he does in the show. So they're being accurate. It's just a shame they couldn't be this accurate when the show was more accurate. See, this is why I don't want to it's just too complicated. He does have painted front buffers, but on the back of the tinder, he does not. That is a pretty easy fix, but still one I wish I didn't have to do. He does not have a painted whistle on the top, and really besides that, there's nothing else to knock. He's accurate to what he is in All Engines Go. He's just not the James I'm used to, so I'm gonna try not to just keep throwing out biased shit takes. For what he is, he's cool. It's nice to have James representation with all of the Thomas and Percys I now have. If I had to give it a rating, it'd be a very easy 9 out of 10, just because it's so accurate to the show. It's just, again, not my James, and I'm gonna try to not continue saying that because duh. But that's enough about James. Let's jump into Carly and Sandy. Now, again, I've never had a Carly, so this is all going to be brand new, just like James to me. Get it right here. Okay. Oh boy. Well, the T-Rex is removable, if anybody was curious. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the Fix 'em Up Friends pack. I'm just gonna call it the Muddy, Sandy, and Carly pack, and I'm already kind of taken aback. Not in a bad way, though. Let me take this thing apart. Carly is a lot more than I anticipated, if that makes any sense. She's got these really cool translucent blue windows that honestly are pretty damn cool. She's got a pretty nice face. I'm not sure if this is different to her stock standard model, but it does have the mud just like she does on the side. The crane does rotate and is very large for how big the model is. Here it is next to Thomas. That is quite towering. If you want a toy that captures the Carly from the show, this is it. It gets just about everything. And honestly, same thing with the Sandy here, except I kind of like her face more on this one than I do the standard one. The shocked face with the mud is just kind of, it's an extra bit of cuteness, if that makes any sense. And just like Carly, she has a mud detail all over her, the brown wheels and brown chassis block. Altogether a pretty fun set for what you get engine-wise. But when it comes to this T-Rex, again, I'm just confused. What does this come from? It's very chibi, has a lot of detail to it. The wagon it sits on is pretty basic, just being molded in red with the same brown wheels and brown chassis block as Carly and Sandy, but a cool inclusion. Again, I just don't know what it's here for. Honestly, I'm probably gonna pair it more with James just because they match so well, so expect to see that. And I think the highlight out of all of this, besides having a super unique Sandy with a surprised face, again, is Carly. I've never had a Carly model before, so this is kind of interesting for my first time around, but also just so a little bit more than what I thought she would be. I thought she would just have painted windows, no, she actually has translucent blue ones that look pretty damn cool. And that is on all sides, on the back, the front here. A pretty cool, accurate face, a very large crane that doesn't really too much besides swivel around, but it's there and it's accurate. And that's really all you can ask for. So just like James, I'd have to give this a very easy 9 out of 10. I know I've said a couple times this isn't my Thomas, and I'm doing my best not to keep going in circles because it's really just, it's an old statement now. I feel like it's just overplayed to continue the whole being over angry at all engines go bit. It's just kind of lame now, or not as funny. Honestly, for what these toys are, they are pretty fun and pretty cool. And I have to say, after looking at these two, yeah, I want a Gordon. That's probably the only conclusion I've come to. And if you're anything like me and may not be the biggest fan of All Engines Go, but think some of the engines are cute, this is probably the best brand for you, just because every character is so accurate and you can be so pick and choose with what you get. I know some of you guys probably want me to say I'm very dissatisfied and it's all bad, but again, for what it is and for what you're paying for, you really can't beat it. A $5 train that's this accurate to the show is it's a pretty good deal. And now I guess there's a proper adult amongst the other collection that I have. Oh no, it's the Railway Series Purist. It's the Railway Series. Oh god. Oh shit. Fuck. God. Oh no.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.
How can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay. Hitman in a top try, see a man topless, even a stick is gay. Hugging my brothers and say that I love them, but I don't swing that way. The man them celebrate Eid, the traps don't running on Christmas Day. Somebody tell Doja Cat that I'm trying to indulge in that.